its own will and creation and sentience. Energy, all energy has its own sentience. That means there's not a darn thing out there that's not conscious. That can be a real problem if you're trying to be a vegetarian because you figure it's really bad to eat animals, but it's better to eat plants because animals are closer to humans and they're more conscious and they're like beings. Plants are kind of more like beings, but kind of raw material. There really is no raw material. It's all consciousness. It's all a manifestation of source, so it all needs to be treated with respect and reverence. Right now we're stuck on a planet where we have to eat because our DNA is messed up. We used to be breatharians, by the way. We didn't have to eat. We had a very different internal structure at that point. There are certain organs that just weren't necessary. We were immortal in those bodies. And what allowed us to sustain those bodies were Merkaba mechanics. We would consciously direct what our energy fields were doing, so whenever our energy levels started to drop, we would bring more primal life force in. We didn't have to take energy from anything. We weren't energy vampires. Right now on the planet, we've been turned into energy vampires. We think of energy vampires in a negative sense was, those people that try to suck energy off other people. And there are nasty things in the astral field that try to do that. There are things that in the ancient legends they called succubi that try to attach themselves to your field and suck all your life force out. When you think about what we're doing on the planet, just to sustain our bodies, what do? We kill stuff to take its life force energy to sustain our own. That was not the natural pattern for humans or animals on this planet. That was not part of the divine blueprint. That has been an adaptation that was necessary once our currents were blocked and we couldn't sustain here. And we couldn't get back out. We had to do something in the meantime. And certain allowances were made and agreements were made between animal and plant forms that they agreed to allow us to do that because we would take into our bodies who they were and we would help them ascend out of here faster. So there's a whole other way of looking at food when you start to understand energy, when you start to understand what our templates are about, and the fact that energy is conscious. When we are running currents, we are running people. Most of them ours, parts of our own. Now,